The kid was 27 to 37, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. What the hell else do y'all want as a fan base, bro? Y'all have got to be able to provide me with one quarterback. One single quarterback in the last 15 years that has been even close to as good as Quinn Ewers. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a Sunday edition of MoBetta Sports. I'm your host, Antonio, a.k.a. Mr.MoBetta. And y'all know what time it is, guys. Today, we're going to be getting straight into Texas coming off their first true road win in the SEC with a 27-24 butt clincher against the Vanderbilt Commodores. So if y'all watched the video that I released on Thursday, I had a pretty lofty prediction that Texas was going to win 45-17. Obviously, we didn't come out with that score. Pulled away. We got out of there with a 3-point victory, 27-24. But honestly, like, it wasn't as bad as it seems. Like, it wasn't really that close of a game, if that makes sense. The final score was 27-24, but I don't think there was at any point in that game where it really felt like Texas wasn't in control of the game, right? Save for the penalties and for the misplays, the sloppy play, on the offensive line. I thought that the game plan for Vanderbilt was actually pretty excellent. We ran the ball extremely effectively. We passed the ball extremely effectively. And I saw a lot of good things from Quinn yesterday. A lot of things that I was looking for, that I was hoping to see get corrected, that kind of looked like it took a major regression last week against Georgia. So that was good. There was a lot of good things that came out of the victory. Obviously, there's a lot of things to address, things that need to be cleaned up. And so we're going to go ahead and get into all of that. Before we do that, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Go ahead and smack a like on the video, just so that way we get the word spread out to the YouTube algorithm. As y'all know, it's all about the algorithm these days. And yeah, turn on those notification bells so that you never miss anything that we have coming for you. But all right, let's go ahead and get right into it, right? I really want to start off first talking about the good. We could get the bad going, but I kind of want to save the bad stuff that we saw in the game until later on, just so we can get a really good breakdown of it. But the first thing I want to talk about is obviously the play of our quarterback, Quinn Ewers. I thought he played a relatively excellent game. At one point, he had completed 17 passes in a row. He was he was on pace to break his own school record for passing completions in a row. His first incompletion came on a deep pass to Ryan Wingo that should have obviously been pass interference because his head got wrapped around and he got thrown to the ground, but that's neither here nor there. He finishes the game 27 of 37, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 INTs. Both of those interceptions came off of tip passes. So, I don't know. Tip passes are kind of hard. It's hard to be upset about that, especially because, they're wonky. Like, tip passes happen all the time, and they're not necessarily always going to turn into interceptions. But they just happen to in this game. The thing that I didn't mind, or the reason I didn't mind those interceptions happening, is because Quinn actually made the right reads on both of the interceptions, right? Made the right reads, ball got tipped, is what it is. It's part of football. That's why you play the game, right? The defense is out there to make plays, not just let you throw the ball all over the field. But what I love to see, outside of just the statistical performance from Quinn, was his poise in the pocket, the calmness that it felt like he had in the pocket, and his ability to maintain keeping his eyes downfield while the pocket is collapsing around him. It served us massively on a third and 18, third and 20. And, Quinn stepped up on a 3-man rush, stepped up in the pocket because he was feeling a little bit of pressure, and delivered a dart to Silas Bolden that ultimately really kind of saved the game, especially as far as taking time off the clock. That play, if we don't convert that third down, Vanderbilt gets the ball back in a tie game. Right at that point, I believe it is 17-17 or something like that. So Quinn made some really, really, really good plays, some really excellent throws. 2 touchdowns to DeAndre Moore. DeAndre Moore having another field day. This kid is getting better and better by the week. I love seeing him progress in this offense. And honestly, he's just a baller, man. He's a great route runner. He's got great hands, great blocker on the outside. So DeAndre Moore is definitely a bright spot in the receiver room. We've been looking for receivers to step up and take over. Now that Isaiah Bond is banged up, Wingo was banged up. Matthew Golden, I feel like, has not had enough touches. The kid is so electric with the ball in his hands. You saw the one-handed touchdown grab that he had. A quick little, pass to the corner of the end zone. Quinn threw a freaking dart that Matthew Golden just sticks his hand out like glue, stuck to his fingers. So, but outside of that, I think Matthew Golden had like 2 receptions or something like that, 9 yards and a touchdown. He just hasn't been able to. I don't know. I don't really know. I watched the games and Matthew Golden is open all the damn time. It's just the plays just aren't designed to go to him, I guess. So aside from that, moving on from the pass game and from Quinn Ewers running the ball. Damn, it felt great watching us run the football down Vanderbilt's throat. Now I know that we had several penalties. Okay, several penalties that took back 10, 15, 25-yard gains, or else we would have almost rushed for 200 yards in this game. And I don't think people are really understanding that. The criticism that Texas fans have over the offense, and especially about Quinn, but just the offense in general, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, man. I don't really know what else our fan base is looking for. We ran the ball for over 100 yards, 140 yards minus Quinn's, being sacked 4 times. We were able to run the ball at will. Every time we ran the ball, we were picking up 4 to 5 yards. I thought we imposed our will in the run game, and it was a beautiful thing to see. I love it. I love watching our big athletic line get out and get to the second level on these wide zones. Again, these buck sweeps, these wide split zones. It's just good to see that we don't have to force the ball up the middle in order to have an effective run game, which is what I was trying to say against Georgia. One of the things that I feel like, kind of plagued us in that game was that Steve was trying to play, big dig bully football and just run the ball up the middle of that Georgia D line. And we're just not that team. It's not how we're built. We're not built to run the ball straight up the middle. We got to get our athletic guys to the outside, let our speed and our athleticism take over. And I felt like we did a really good job of that against Vanderbilt. Defense, again, played a phenomenal game. Twice we were put in terrible positions as far as field position is concerned. Both of the interceptions on Quinn were tip passes in our own territory. And this seems to be like, I don't know why, but it seems to be like a common theme around interceptions or turnovers involving Texas. Whenever we get turnovers, our turnovers come like deep in our own territory, right? Like, and I'm talking about defensively. Defense always gets a turnover, inside of their territory. Offense seems to always turn the ball over inside of our own territory as well. So whereas we're getting turnovers, we're having to start at our own, 30, 25, 20 yard line. Whereas when opposing defenses are getting turnovers, they're having to start at our 35, our 40. You know what I'm saying? They're starting the drives in our territory. And so our defense has had to come up clutch 2 weeks in a row now, with bad field position, with their backs being put against the end zone. And I really feel like they bowed up 2 weeks in a row. They have showed that they are an elite defense. They are a great defense. They forced 3 turnovers in the game. Mookie playing out of his freaking mind in the secondary. Jahdae Barron, obviously, I think Jahdae is going to win the Thorpe. At the way he's playing right now, I don't see how he doesn't. He is incredible. The only person that could probably win the Thorpe Award over Jahdae right now would be Travis Hunter, bro. Because Travis Hunter is just, that kid is just built different. I don't care what nobody says. Kid is built different. I thought it was great to see Jelani McDonald out there filling in the safety role with Makuba and Derek Williams both out. Jelani had a very, very good game. He plays very physical. Kid is huge. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, but he brings the hammer, right? He is looking to attack the football, and I love to see it. He was in it on a lot of plays. Kobe Black had himself a great game. Had a good pass breakup on a third down late in the game. Should have had a pick six, were it not for Vernon Broughton's bonehead ass mistake, going and smacking Diego Pavia after he released the ball. It was such a stupid penalty, man. Such a stupid penalty, and not only did that take away a touchdown for the defense, he also is going to now miss the first half of the Florida game. So, wasn't worth it. It was really stupid. All in all, the penalty on Vernon Broughton was just dumb. Like, it was not worth it at all. I thought Trey Moore, bro. Everyone has been giving Trey Moore shit because he hasn't shown up in the stat book a lot. But when you watch that kid play, he disrupts so many plays on offense. It's actually insane. He's very intelligent. There were multiple plays where Vanderbilt was trying to get to the outside, and Trey Moore is not on an outside assignment necessarily, but he reads the play and just sticks to the outside and forces Diego Pavia to bounce it or cut it back inside, and not giving up any big plays. The shovel pass that he almost intercepted and took to the end zone inside of Vandy's territory. Trey Moore has been balling the fuck out, and though he's not showing up on the stat sheet, I don't think that there's any question that he's making an impact on the field, and that's really what I love to see personally. The stat books, the sacks, and all that stuff is great to have, but as long as you're affecting the game and you're making impacts on the defensive line, I don't really see a problem with it. I thought he did a good job of that. We didn't get any sacks in this game. Unfortunately, Vandy was able to come up with 4. Vandy is what I think like the worst sack team in the SEC. Able to get 4 sacks on Quinn. All of those were miscommunications on the defensive line. I don't think that any of them were Quinn's fault. Maybe one where he held the ball a little bit too long. But the other 3 sacks were all miscommunications. One was Jaden Blue not picking up the blitzer. One was, the line was on a half slide and Hayden Connor just tapped the 3 tech and let him run free and obliterate Quinn. There's a couple of bad plays in there. But overall, I felt like the O-line played a pretty damn good game. We know that the Texas offense can move the ball. Our biggest problem right now is beating ourselves. Again, several stupid penalties. We literally opened the game with a penalty on the kickoff. We had a holding call. Cam Williams is getting flagged out the ass. He is our biggest problem, per se, on the O-line, if you want to put it that way. The penalties as of late have been crazy. Cam has been getting beat on the outside. I don't want to say he's regressing, but he definitely needs to lock the fuck in. He needs to lock in. The stupid mistakes, the unsportsmanlike penalties, the holdings, all of that shit, man. Like, that is sloppy, undisciplined football that will get us beat later on in the year. When it comes to playoff time, when it comes to SEC championship time, when it comes to playing teams like A&M, it is imperative that we get these things fixed because it's killing us. The penalties on the offensive side of the ball right now are absolutely killing us. How many drives do we have where we're pushing deep into opponent territory, but then we're getting 10, 15-yard penalties because of holding or because of hands to the face or false starts or anything, bro. The pre-snap penalties, the post-snap penalties, all that shit has to be cleaned up or we're going to have problems later. If there's one complaint I have for this team, that is it right there. The penalties are ridiculous. 10 penalties for 108 yards. You are unlikely to win any big games with those type of penalties. And with that number and the amount of yards given up on the penalties is absolutely insane. So that's something that in my opinion is imperative that the offense gets cleaned up. The offensive line has got to get to work. They've got to get things figured out. Other than that, man, I felt like we really played an excellent game all around. We had a great game plan defensively for Diego Pavia and for that Vanderbilt offense. We held them to less than 150 yards passing, less than 100 yards rushing. They did score in short field, put up 24 points. One of those touchdown passes, Diego Pavia literally lasered. Threw an absolute laser through like 6 hands, and somehow his receiver came up with it on 4th and goal. He had a scramble to the outside for 18 yards, the first score, that on a 3rd and 8, outran Jalen Gilbo to the corner, and Jalen Gilbo couldn't push him out of bounds. Diego Pavia made an athletic play, kept his feet in bounds, took it to the end zone. Those things happen, right? That's football. That's why you play the game of football. And Diego Pavia is a baller. That dude is a gamer. No, there's no way around it. The dude plays his ass off. He's the heartbeat of Vanderbilt's team. He had a I wouldn't say he had a great game, but not terrible. We were able to force him into a lot of mistakes. Anthony Hill was one less panhand away from having his interception in the game. Smacked him right in his hand and he dropped it. Again, Kobe Black had a pick 6 return. So while we only had 3 turnovers in this game, we could have had 5. Literally could have had 5. My biggest problem with the fact that we're getting turnovers, it's not the problem that we're getting turnovers, right? That's incredible. That's what we want to do. This is the second week in a row where the defense has come up with at least 3 turnovers. 2 interceptions and a fumble. Again, could have been 4 interceptions, a pick 6, and a fumble. Is what it is. But my biggest concern with the turnovers that we're getting is that we're not scoring off them, right? We had 3 turnovers in the game, only scored 3 points, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I recall, from what I watched, unless I'm remembering incorrectly, only one of those turnovers did we get any points on the board. We got 3, and that was the 27-20. That was what put us up 27-17, right? Again, short field, couldn't punch it in. 2 other turnovers, couldn't sustain drives, stalled out, have to give the ball back. Whereas Vanderbilt gets 2 turnovers and they score 14 points, right? You see the difference? 3 turnovers, 3 points. 2 turnovers, 14 points. Now we can win the turnover battle, but if we're not scoring and we're allowing the other team to score, what good does winning the turnover battle do, right? Now, to be fair, we still came out with the W, and it is what it is. I think the number one reason we came out with that W, as I mentioned in Thursday's video, we were able to win the time of possession battle. Every single game now, there's 3 losses on Vanderbilt's record where Vanderbilt did not control the time of possession. All 3 of their losses, Vanderbilt did not control the time of possession. That's a common theme. That is the common theme for their losses. We were able to outgain them in TOP 31 minutes to like 28 or something like that, 29. And that ultimately allowed us to win the game, right? Now, again, could we have put up 40 plus? Sure, we didn't. But I think that there's a lot of fans within this organization or fans of this team that just need to hit the damn chill pill, bro. Hit the brakes. Y'all need to relax. The things that I saw being said about Quinn after yesterday's game were absolutely insane. You would literally believe that Texas is 4-4 with no shot at going to the playoffs, unranked, by the way that they slander Quinn Ewers. It is absolutely atrocious. It's atrocious. The kid was 27-37, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. What the hell else do y'all want as a fan base, bro? I genuinely don't understand. Y'all have got, for the life of me, y'all have got to be able to provide me with one single quarterback in the last 15 years that has been even close to as good as Quinn Ewers. And if you say Sam Ehlinger, like I was telling people, on X, if you say Sam Ehlinger, your damn opinion is dismissed, right? Just be realistic, bro. This fan base, the reason it pisses me off, bro, is because, like, do y'all not remember what the last 15 years was like? 5-7, 5-7, 6-7, 7-6, 5-7, 10-4 season, 10-win season in 15 years since Colt McCoy left this program. Quinn Ewers was one pass away from taking us to a freaking national championship last year. One pass from taking us to the Natty. He hasn't had a stellar season, but the dude is pretty damn solid. We're scoring over 30 points a game. I genuinely don't understand what is wrong with this fan base. I don't understand what's wrong with a lot of y'all. Y'all are insane to me. Like, y'all are such fair weather fans, it actually pisses me off. Y'all don't even deserve to see this team do well. Y'all need to go root for another team. Straight up. Quinn is the guy, bro. Quinn is phenomenal. He has things to work on. He is developing as a player, right? The great thing about Quinn is that every time he has a setback, he comes back ferociously and he steps up every single time. So y'all just need to chill the fuck out. Take a step back and just relax. Watch the game and have fun. Have fun watching this team. We are, again, in position to set ourselves up to go to the SEC championship game, another conference title appearance. That's where we're in position right now. So everybody just needs to step back, shut the hell up, enjoy the season, watch these guys go and ball out, and really just watch us continue to improve. I see things that are improving every single week. Every single week, whether it's running, whether it's the secondary playing out of their minds, whether it's a D-line, getting pressures on the quarterback. We have not been a sack-happy team, but we really haven't played any teams that allow us to be sack-happy. I think we'll get there eventually. I think we'll get to the quarterback when we need to. I think everything is going to be perfectly fine with this team. We are progressing every week. We had a close game. Again, our first true road SEC game against a top 25 team that literally just 2 weeks ago, again, it's like y'all seem to forget, 2 weeks ago, just beat the number one team in the country. Who cares what you think about Alabama? Who cares? Alabama beat Georgia. Y'all weren't saying Alabama sucked when they beat Georgia, right? Now all of a sudden, because they lost the second game, now they suck. So Georgia sucks too, I guess. Like, come on, bro. Be real. Y'all don't know football, man. That's the problem. If you don't know football, just shut the hell up and enjoy watching. Straight up. Now, with that being said, we are over, which is kind of crazy to say this, we're over probably the hardest stretch of the season now. We have a bye week coming up, and then we get ready to go to Florida. Then we take on Kentucky. Then we finish the season out, if I'm not mistaken yet. Then we finish the season out, A&M. A&M had an excellent game against LSU yesterday. I don't know if any of y'all watched it. They went down, I believe it was 20-7 at one point, late in the third. They came roaring back, took out Connor Wegman because he sucks, put in Marcel Reed, which they should have done from the jump. He obviously gives their offense the best chance to be explosive and to succeed. When they put Marcel Reed in, they exploded. 31 points unanswered, end up winning the game 38-23. I'm sorry, it's not unanswered. They outscored LSU 31 to 6 in the second half. They play great. But for all intents and purposes, I'm praying to the football gods. I am praying to the football gods that the Aggies finish their season with one loss when it comes time for us to meet them in Kyle Field so we can just absolutely obliterate Little Brother. I just want our first season in the SEC. Not only is it going to be the Aggies' best season since they've been in the SEC, but then we're also going to have the opportunity to shatter their hopes and dreams. It's going to be beautiful, man. It is going to be beautiful. It's setting up for a showdown. I hope that it gets to November 28th and both teams are 10-1. I hope so, man. It's going to be phenomenal. But yeah, with that being said, man, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys get up out of here. I'll be doing a cut up and a breakdown of the Vandy game. So that way we can kind of look at some of the things that we talked about today, look at some of the things that we can improve on, look at the things that we did well. and just get more in depth, right? But for right now, that's all I really got to say about the game. Again, Texas gets their first true road win in the SEC, 27-24 over a number 25 ranked Vanderbilt team. It wasn't pretty. It was sloppy. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. Wins are hard to get, and as long as we keep stacking those up, we're gonna be just fine. Yeah. All right, man. That's gonna do it for me. If y'all haven't already, and if you made it to this point, please do me a favor and consider subscribing to the channel. Smack that like button. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Ask me some questions. What do y'all want to know more about? What do y'all want to hear more about? What would y'all like for me to discuss more? And yeah, just engage, man. Of course, hit that notification bell so you never miss anything we have coming for you. Because remember, there's no better place than MoBetta Sports for your latest football takes. I'm your host, Antonio, aka Mr. MoBetta, and I am out. Peace and hook 'em.